Hello there and welcome to this video on the BRK Ghost. In this video we're going to be showing you how to complete a caliber change on the rifle, as well as giving you any information you need as we walk through the process. Now this particular rifle is a sub 12 pound 177 Ghost Plus, although the information given in this guide will also be relevant to the FAC models as well as the different caliber and length models. The only other thing that I'll point out before we start is that we're going to be swapping over to a 2.2 compact barrel. Now in sub 12 pound rifles, both the compact and the plus share exactly the same barrel length at 17 inches or 430 millimeters. It's simply the shroud length which is slightly different. However, to go along with our compact shroud, we are also going to be installing the 300cc compact bottle. And finally, the only tools that we're going to need in order to carry out this process are a 2mm Allen key and a 3mm Allen key. If you plan on removing or changing the shroud, you will also need a 2.5mm Allen key, although for a simple caliber change this is not required. With that all said and done, we can finally begin. The first thing we'll do is cock the rifle, remove our magazine, and then fire the rifle into a nice safe backstop. This will just ensure that the rifle is unloaded and safe to work on. The next thing we'll do is remove the barrel by loosening this scrub screw in the back of the block using our 3mm Allen key. Doesn't need to be removed all the way, just a couple turns will do us. Then we can slide the barrel out the front of the rifle. If it's a little stiff, you can just give it a little rotate and it should come out nice and freely. The next thing we'll remove is the pellet probe. And to do that, we're simply going to cock the rifle again, move it forward slightly, and then we can loosen this screw in the back of the block. And we're going to need to remove that all the way. So that's this screw in the back of the block here. With that removed, the pellet probe should just tip out from the back of the rifle, nice and easily like so. Before we swap out to our new components, I will just give you a quick look at both the pellet probes and the barrel. And here's a nice close-up on the probes. So we have the 2.2 on this side and then the 177 on this side. As you can see, the 177 is a shrouded probe, whereas the 221 is a pin probe. The only thing that I will mention is that the 177 probe needs to be installed with the hole towards the bottom of the rifle. So the transfer port needs to be aligned with the bottom of the block. The pin probe does not have an installation orientation, so it can be rotated 180 degrees with no problems whatsoever. The next thing I'll show you is just the transfer ports on the bottom of the barrels. And here's just a quick look at the two barrels. And if we take a look at the transfer ports, this is how the rifle is able to maintain a consistent power over the different calibers. So on this side we have the 2.2. On this side we have the 177. The 2.2 barrel uses a 2.7mm transfer port and the 177 barrel uses a 3.2mm transfer port. That subtle difference, along with the difference in the pellet probes, allows the power to remain consistent over the two calibers. So you don't need to adjust the power when you swap from 177 to 2.2 or vice versa. There may be a very small change in power between the two calibers, although it should still remain under the sub 12 pound limit, and in most cases the power will be pretty much the same or a very slight difference. With that all said and done, I've removed the 177 components and we're left with the 2.2 ones, so we can install those into the rifle. To begin with, we'll take the 2.2 probe and just add that to our 3mm Allen key. Next, we'll line up this hole in the side of the probe with the hole in the side of the cocking block, so this piece here. We'll then take the probe and install that through the hole in the back of the block, pushing that lightly through until the hole lines up, at which point we can now add our retention screw, so this one here. We're going to be doing that up nice and tightly using a 2mm Allen key. And there we have our 2.2 probe installed. If we take a look at the back there, you can see the retention screw. And if we take a look at the back of the block, you can see this is the hole that we installed the pellet probe through and took the old one out. With that done, the next thing we'll do is install the barrel. That's nice and simply. Pushing that through the end there. Once the barrel hits the first O-ring, if you give the barrel a little twist, you can push the barrel through nice and carefully. And then as we get towards the back here, just make sure the dimple in the side of the barrel is lined up with the grub screw in the side of the block. Nice and carefully like so. Pushed all the way home, and then we can take our 3mm Allen key and do the grub screw up. What I like to do is tighten the grub screw up, then loosen it about 1/4 of a turn, then try and rotate the barrel. If you can't rotate the barrel, it means the grub screw is in the right position, and then we can tighten up the grub screw fully. With that done, we can simply decock the rifle, and there we have it. Now the rifle as it sits looks a little silly with the big bottle and the short shroud, but luckily we do have a compact bottle ready to be fitted onto the rifle. To get that fitted, all we need to do is unscrew the old bottle and then screw on the new one. So that's a nice simple procedure. And there we have it. There's the rifle converted from 177 to 22, and in the process we have also changed the rifle from the plus to the compact shroud, as well as the compact bottle. And there we have it. There's a complete caliber change for the BRK Ghost. In real life the procedure is a lot faster. Obviously for the video we were going nice and slowly, as well as giving you some close-ups on the individual components. But in real life, a complete caliber change for the rifle should take less than 2 minutes, as long as you have a nice clean working area and are using quality tools. Swapping from the 177 barrel to the 22 barrel did change the power very slightly. I'll put these 2 shot strings on camera now so you can see what the power changed to. And both of these tests here were done using the Rangemaster Sovereign pellets in 177 and also 22. The next thing we'll do is show you how to swap shrouds. So we're going to be going from the plus shroud to the compact shroud, and again in the sub 12 pound rifles the barrels are exactly the same length, the only difference being the length of the carbon fibre tube. The other thing that I'll mention is that the holes in the end of the shrouds are exactly the same on the 22 and 177 shrouds, so you can swap from a 177 compact to a 22 long, or vice versa if you want to. To do this is a nice simple job. We're going to be removing these 2 grub screws here using a 2.5mm Allen key. And this is easier off the rifle, although it can be completed with the barrel installed into the rifle. With those removed, we can simply slide the carbon fibre tube off, nice and simply like so, and then slide our compact carbon fibre tube on. As you slide it on, just line up the holes in the carbon fibre tube with the 2 holes on the end of the boss there. With that installed, we can now reinstall our grub screws, being nice and careful not to cross thread them as we install them into the holes. And there we have it. That's the shroud swapped over, so we now have a compact 177 barrel. The last thing I'll do is just show you how fast the caliber change can be completed when you're not trying to explain everything for the camera. So I'll start a timer below and we'll complete a caliber change. Starting now. And as we put the 177 probe in, I am just lining up the transfer port hole with the bottom of the block. But there we have it. There's the rifle swap back to 177 caliber, and I think I did it in a fairly respectable time. But with that all said and done, that's pretty much going to do it for this particular video. So thank you very much for watching. I hope it's been useful, and we'll see you in the next one.